Do you see yourself as a confident person? Do you see that as something that's fixed, as your personality, either confident or unconfident? We'll aim to answer this and more in today's video. But first, look at that, that's pretty cool, isn't it? You can't really see it, can you? Second best thing about winter, jackets. Back. Bottom half's a bit tragic. Trainers and hoodie wrapped around waist. But I'm where a lot of people walk their dogs, so I've got to fit in. So, confidence. I'll try and keep this one a little bit shorter than the last one. So, I don't believe that confidence is something you either have or don't have and that's it. I don't believe it's something you're born with. I don't believe it's something that if you don't feel you currently have, you can't have. I wouldn't call myself a confidence coach if that wasn't the case. Getting clear on your definition of confidence, your own definition of confidence, is, I think, quite important if confidence is something you want. Before I ramble, I just want to say I'm not coming from a place of I am better than you at confidence or life or anything. I'm not an expert because I'm a super confident person and you should be more like me. The reason I think I can coach people on confidence is because I was a very not confident person for the majority of my life, and because of that, just to get to a point that most people would see as averagely confident, it took me a lot of work and self-coaching. And as a result of that, I think I'm quite good naturally at... Just a car there, that's where I went. I think I'm quite good naturally at helping people help themselves to be more confident. So this isn't advice. Anyway, get to the point, Elliot. I believe that the big confusion most people have is that they see confidence as a prerequisite to action. So, I'm not a confident person, so therefore I can't do things like asking people out or starting a business or telling my boss where to shove it or any of that lovely stuff. And once you've labelled yourself as a non-confident person, then basically that's what's going to start happening. Your mind's going to start filtering out all the information, all the evidence that you are a confident person. For example, I asked for 2 scoops of ice cream instead of 1 today. And you're going to really pay attention to and notice and remember all of the evidence in your life that adds up to you not being a confident person. For example, I then started crying when the lady said I could only have 1 scoop. That's really important. It's a separate topic, but you're essentially creating a self-fulfilling prophecy based on your belief of who you are as a person. Now, I want to say first of all, and this is huge, your personality is not fixed. You weren't born the way you are right now. You know, one of the first things you'll notice if you've ever been in the room when a baby is born is that they don't need therapy. They're just a little bundle of joy that cries a lot because it needs to survive and have food and stuff. They're a little bundle of joy, and then you kind of get a contact high from being around them. That's who you really are, but you've covered it up with all of these layers of I'm not a confident person, I am this kind of person, I'm a strict person, I'm a fair person, I am a left-wing person, I'm a right-wing person, la 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 la. And you add on all of your layers of personality. And that changes, that fluctuates, you know. So at a certain age you were this, at a certain age you were that. But then we tend to believe our stories we tell ourselves of, you know, I've never been a confident person. Never. I've never been the kind of person who helps others, goes out of their way. I'm not that kind of person. Or I am a really selfless person. I've always have been. And we tend to believe our own confirmation bias, believe our own bullshit, basically. And I am just as much of a victim? Not the right word. I'm just as guilty of that as the next guy/gal. However, I want to introduce you to a new idea, and I've gone off on that last 4-minute ramble. Not at all really, well, not at all related, but not really where I wanted to go with this conversation. But if we come back to confidence, a lot of people see confidence as a prerequisite to taking action, to being bold, to getting what they want. And what I've noticed from coaching many hundreds of people and working on myself a lot and being coached a lot on confidence is that that's not true. Confidence is not a prerequisite. Confidence is a result. Confidence is a result. Courage is a prerequisite. And that's a really important distinction. So I'm going to repeat it. Courage is a prerequisite. Confidence is not. How I look at it, and how generally, you asked, so I'll tell you how I look at it. How I've come to view confidence and how I incorporate it into my coaching, hashtag sign up, is if you are able to identify what is right on the edge of your comfort zone. So I'm talking, you know, you've got a comfort zone, imagine a circle, and all the stuff you're comfortable doing is on the inside, all the stuff you're uncomfortable doing is on the outside. If you walk up to the edge of that circle and just look over the edge, what's there? In other words, what makes you nervous? What is not so far outside your comfort zone that it makes you terrified? Not that. That stuff doesn't really get done. We'll get there eventually. But if you just look at what makes you nervous, my definition of nervous being the crossover between fear and excitement. Another colour there for you, red, pink. That's kind of a hot pink. That crossover between fear and excitement, that's nervous. Don't be scared of nervous. Don't walk away from nervous. Nervous is your potential. Nervous is energy. Nervous is your potential energy. That's where the fun is, because that's right on the edge of your comfort zone. Now, if you make a habit of identifying what's on the edge of your comfort zone, or waiting for the necessity to work on something that's on the edge of your comfort zone, you know, we don't have to force this. And then you ask yourself, why? Why am I nervous about this? What makes me so nervous about this? Or a coach asks you that, and you ask yourself, okay, why is it so important? And then, do I still want to do this? Now I know why I'm so nervous and why it's so important. Do I still want to do it? Yes or no? If no, cool, chill out. Wait for the next thing. No rush. But if yes, if you still want to do it, then if you can accept that you will feel self-doubt and you will feel fear, you will feel nervous, but that thing is really important to you, then all you need is a bit of courage. Simple but not easy. Courage to do it. And so all I'm proposing here is that if you can make a habit of identifying what's on the edge of your comfort zone, what makes you nervous, looking directly towards that and asking deep questions about it, why, what, how, where, and if you still want to do it, identifying the action or actions you need to take in order to do it, and then following through on those, despite the self-doubt, despite the fear, despite the nervousness, using your courage. If you make a habit of those 4 things, and you do that, you make that process over and over again, the outcome is confidence. I got a 5. Yeah. Turn around, because I've run out of road. You get this nice background now. You lucky people. If you made it this far, congrats. So confidence is the result of making a habit of approaching with courage what is on the edge of your comfort zone. If you do that again and again and again in all the different areas of your life, and it won't always work, it won't always feel good, you won't always leave that thinking, I smashed it. But if you do, and more often than not, you take the action despite the self-doubt, then that habit is called confidence. Because then you can look towards anything in any area of life and go, okay, I back myself to identify why that's so important, make a decision on whether or not I'm going to commit, and then commit. I know there'll be some doubt and there'll be some things I have to push through, and maybe I need a coach to help me or somebody to help keep me accountable. You don't need a coach to help keep you accountable. You can just tell a friend and get them to keep you accountable, someone you trust. But if you keep doing that over and over again, then there's not really anything in life that you have to be, that you feel you can't do. Because it's just a matter of running through that process, that habit. So confidence is a result, confidence is a habit. And that's why in my coaching, here comes the plug. That's why in my coaching, I don't focus on a specific area. I'm not a relationship coach. I mean, I do call myself a career coach, so I just absolutely caught myself out there. But I call myself a career and confidence coach, so shut up. If I work with people in a way that we approach, sure, we have a vision, we have a goal, whether it's career-based, relationship-based, whatever-based, spiritual-based. But the important thing is that we're creating that habit through whatever you need the most right now, whatever's on the edge of your comfort zone this week. Let's talk about that. Yeah? What is it? Why is it so important? You still want to do it? No? Can you accept that you don't want to do it? Cool. You want to do it? What are your options? What do you need to do? Right, what will you do? And I'm going to keep you accountable. And if you don't do it, that's also fine, because there'll be loads of learning in that. Why didn't you do it? What stopped you? What was the thought process that stopped you? Oh, okay, so maybe you don't want to do it then. Maybe it's not that important to you. Cool, let's move on. There you go, I made that sound very simple, didn't I? But that's it. That's really it. That's confidence. So there you go. Solved everyone's problems and the world is a better place. And look at that sun. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. What? Zoom in on that boy a bit. Oh, nailed it. Yeah, camera's absolutely banging, isn't it? Love you, bye.